In Lyle Loudon's book, How to Talk to Anyone, he says there are 4 levels of language. When people first meet, they are at level 1. They are polite to each other, and they're only trying not to offend each other. As we move from level 1 to 2 to 3 and 4, from acquaintances to friends to brothers, we become more intimate in our language. We create a language that only we know, which strengthens our relationships, gives us unity, helps us accomplish goals, and creates a community that cannot be separated. Lowndes says, a linguistic device gets you riding on high reports with everyone you meet. The Army is a classic example of intimate relationships strengthened by language. Each soldier knows what in ranks and fall in mean, which separates them from non-service members. They also know what 11 up and 3 down mean, dumpster fire and soup sandwich, all of which means that someone is messed up or struggling. These words strengthen the bonds between soldiers and create a community where the soldiers, past and present, are linked because they can always relate in conversation and others cannot. Another famous example of linguistic similarities or slang, creating a tight-knit bond, is the famous language in London called Cockney slang. Created in the 19th century at the poverty-stricken East End of London, Cockney was used by merchants and traders. It was their way of mocking the upperclassmen in London and was used for disguising what was said so people passing could not interpret it. Cockney slang consists of 2 words in a phrase, where the second word rhymes with the word intended. For example, trouble and strife would mean wife, and dog and bone would mean phone. Cockney helped create a subculture for the merchants and traders where they didn't have to worry about what they said. Cockney slang and slang in general allows people to comfortably talk in public, which makes them bond with each other against the outside world. As you know, St. Thomas Academy has its own unique slang. No, it's not as complicated as Cockney, nor as meaningful as Army slang, but nonetheless, it is very important to our community. The STA lingo is important because it strengthens the 5th pillar of STA, the brotherhood. Yes, every high school has its own slang, but they're all somewhat similar. You can interpret what they're saying without prior knowledge. STAs is just different. I can't tell you how many times I've said hi to a friend not from STA by looking at him and saying, "Hey, gear, son." Only to realize he has no clue what that means. And while he looks at me blankly, I just think to myself how dumb I sound. But then I think about how special it is that we have our own language. Those embarrassing moments do not outweigh that feeling of camaraderie and brotherhood when someone walks into a class and yells, "Your son!" And to hear a chorus of people, or just Smith, respond with, "Ugh." Or the times we all hold up our fists and yell, "Fust." Or saying those other boyish sounds we call words like merch, ton, yost, power feast, and yanat. It's truly something special. From our slang comes our nicknames. Every community has nicknames, but like our slang, our nicknames are also derived from our boyish nature. For example, if I were to ask everyone in this room if they could find the similarities between the names Purple Minion and Filet, I bet you only the seniors can figure that one out. That's the evolution of Jack Griffin's name. It went from Purple Minion to Filet Mignon, now to just simply Filet. And some other ones too. But the most important part about his name is that it started out as a chirp, just like the Ice Cream Man, Old Navy, the Block of Clay, Goat, and Skolf, to name a few more. These names started out as chirps, but eventually they became embraced by the person who had the name, because the chirp is not what matters. What matters is how much closer as brothers we become from them. We become synonymous with these names, and in any other situation, people would not understand the significance of these names, and that is what makes them important. We've created our language here at STA, which has enabled us to be truly and feel comfortably around our peers. We have reached that fourth level of language and relationship. As seniors, when we part ways next year, we will always have this school in common. But more importantly, we will always have our language. No matter how long it'll be or how different we will become, we will always be bonded by our language. Thank you, and God bless.